And topic of my presentation is Mushti Yog Chikitsa, traditional Ayurveda practices of Bengal. This is the project we completed under the guidance and supervision of Vaidya Asit Kumar Panja, who is not only a renowned physician and academician, but he is the role model and icon of a young generation of Bengal Ayurveda. So, with permission of Vaidya Asit Panja sir, I am going to present today's presentation. Myself, Dr. Bidhan Mahajan. I am working as a research officer in Central Council for Research in Ayurvedic Sciences, CCRS, headquartered New Delhi. Presently, we are also working in CCRS, involving in the project for documentation and validation of local health tradition. In this project, we are validating total 10 years of collected folklore claims and medicinal claims throughout various research projects throughout all over India, from all over India. So let me start today's presentation. Before coming to the main part, let us see little background of Bengal. That is, Bengal or Bangla is originated from ethnic group Banga, which came from Austic words Banga, that means sun god. According to Mahabharat and Puran, Banga was one of the adopted son of King Bali, who founded Bangla kingdom. Various references indicate that ancient communities in Bengal were different in ethnicity and culture from Vedic people. The Banga kingdom was powerful seafaring nation ancient India. Bengal migrated from Malay archipelago, Siam, and gradually established their own colonies. And gradually in Bengal, various dynasties ruled, starting from 4th century, like Gupta dynasty, Pal dynasty, Sen dynasty, Ilyas dynasty, Ganesh dynasty, and ultimate Nawab of Bengal. They are ruled up to from 1717 AD to start of British period. And Chandragupta II was the king who defeated the confederacy of Banga kings and made the united Bengal as part of Gupta dynasty. And Bengal was the seat of learning since Gupta period. And Bengal tradition of Ayurveda was started from Madhav Nidan, Madhavkar, starting from 7th century AD, who was the revolutionary of Ayurveda diagnosis and investigations. And gradually it was proceeded by Acharya Chakrapani up to 11th century AD, and it was continued up to Yogendranath Sen, 20th century AD. And in between, various scholars and commentators like Gangadhar Rai, Gananath Sen, Yamini Bhushan Rai, Jyotish Chandra Saraswati, all they have enriched the tradition of Bengal as well as Ayurveda throughout India. Popular school of Bengal throughout India has throughout Bengal has emerged in different parts with the time. There are different parampara like Shastriya parampara. They used to practice based on Ayurveda classical text, and their treatment modules was based on classical treatment mentioned in various classical texts like Charak Samhita and Susruta Samhita. And they are but with slight modification in Anupan and doses form. Next is Vaidyagini Parampara and Mushtijog Parampara. They used to practice the simple and cost-effective home remedies based on easily available medicinal plants. Shuddha Rasavaidya Parampara. They used to practice the metal and mineral-based formulations based on, and the Rasavaidya Parampara was started 11th century AD in Bengal. Tantric Parampara, their treatment modalities was based on Tantra Shastra and influenced by Jyotish Shastra also, and they used to practice in the Deva Vyapasraya Chikitsa and various lep and pradeha for external application also. Misrit Parampara or Vaishajya Ratnavali Parampara, their treatment modalities was based on Vaishajya, the formulations mentioned in Vaishajya Ratnavali. Investigation was based on Madhav Nidan. Pachan Parampara, their treatment modalities was based on various decoction according to dosha avastha and dosha condition and dusha condition. They used to practice different decoction in various disease conditions. Chakradatta Parampara, that is treatment modalities was based on fully the advised by Chakradatta. Next is the main Vaidyagini Parampara or Mushtijog Parampara. With the time period, the simple and cost-effective remedies was so popular in Bengal that a group of physician like Vaidyagini, physician of housewife, has been emerged in Bengal. And they used to practice with commonly available medicinal plants and household materials. And this is commonly known as Mushtijog Chikitsha. And there are more than 40 Mushtijog manuscripts in Bengal are available as contribution of various scholars of this parampara. Coming to aims and objective of this today's main presentation, to explore one of the most popular collection of Mushtijog of Bengal tradition and to screen, validate and document the clinically most effective formulation mentioned in the manuscript. Coming to methodology, for this we have screened total 750 formulations and we have categorized these formulation into animal product, mineral product and herbal product. And then we analyzed that clinically effectiveness in OPD and IPD based and then documented the most clinically effective formulations in the form of books. We analyzed total, after analysis we have found that the formulations contain total 381 medicinal plants, 38 animal products and 33 mineral products, and these formulations are applicable total 70 types of disease condition in, and the diagnosis of these traditional treatment modalities or traditional treatment parampara was through traditional knowledge only, and their treatment model was based on home remedy and simple herb based. And we found that Mushtijog Parampara or Mushtijog Chikitsha is one of the most popular tradition practice in Bengal among the 7 major and 6 minor parampara. And this parampara was, there was some unique treatment, unique achievement of this parampara, like simple method for classical diagnosis and treatment. They have developed unique treatment, unique diagnosis technique, like for diagnosis of Nasarog based on Vedana. If Nistod is there, then it indicates Vataja Nasarog. If Nasagra Pak is there, then it indicates Pittaja and Raktaja Nasarog. Likewise, they have developed in different easy technique for diagnosis of the different disease condition. And simple and cost-effective formulations also was one of the unique contribution of this parampara. For example, 1 piece of ice in mouth provides relief from nausea and vomiting in fever. Likewise, 25 gram Ela is to be boiled in 500 ml water until remain part will 125 ml, and this is to be drink repeatedly after filtration for getting relief from nausea and vomiting in fever. Some unique modification in indication also there as a novel contribution we have found. In excessive loose motion, Swarna Parpati 2 Rati used should be prescribed once daily, and if there is excessive thirst, then coconut water may be used. And there are some unique and treatment modalities of this parampara, Mushtijog Chikitsha. We are just highlighting here based on the simple and easily available, simple and cost-effective formulations based on easily available medicinal plants. Like for Juar fever, 2 tola Nirgundi leaves should be boiled with 500 ml water, and it should be reduced up to 125 ml. And this decoction mixed with 3 gram powder of pipuli given in acute fever. For acute fever, we found that research studies are available like Vitex Nigondu at dose of 300 milligram per kg body weight at oral route showed significant reduction in yeast-provoked elevated temperature. That indicates that research studies are also supporting its indication of the Nirgundi leaves in that acute fever condition. Next, in thirst in fever. For thirst in fever, chopped misraya should be kept in 125 ml of water in a glass for 1 hour, and repeated intake of this filtered water mixed with honey, relieving the thirst in fever. And we found that this is also reported in the published literature. Paste of seeds or fruits are used as cooling drinks, are found to be effective as a cooling drinks for fevers. Coming to burning sensation in fever. For burning sensation in fever, there is famous Mushtijog Chikitsa that 25 gram dhamniak should be smashed, that is coriandrum sativum. It should be smashed and put in 125 ml of water overnight, and filtered water of this with little sugar to be taken to alleviate a severe heartburn. And studies found that it is beneficial effect in bed sore, seasonal fever, nausea, vomiting, stomach disorder, etc. Coming to headache in fever. For headache in fever, there is very famous Mushtijog Chikitsa in Bengal, Muchkund, that is Pterospermum acirifolium. The flowers of this plant should be thrashed with water and should be applied over the temporal region. The supportive studies, we found that experimental studies in petroleum ether extract of the plant shows anti-inflammatory activity, which has been reported. Coming to emesis in fever. For emesis in fever, famous and commonly used treatment module is 25 gram Kshet papra, that is Fumaria parviflora, Parpataka, known in Sanskrit, to be boiled with 500 ml water and reduced to 125 ml, and repeated intake of this filtered water can alleviate nausea and vomiting in fever. A study has been conducted to provide the pharmacological basis of medicinal use of Fumaria parviflora in gut motility disorders. In quarantine fever, there is very famous remedies used, very commonly used. Gruel prepared from the 1000 leaves of changeri leaves and 2 times of rice is given in quarantine fever. An analgesic and antipyretic activity of ethanolic extract of this changeri, that is Oxalis corniculata, has been reported. For diarrhea, we found that Musta Cyperus rotundus, 20 pieces of Cyperus rotundus should be boiled with goat's milk and water up to 8 times and reduced to 1/4, and this is indicated in Amatishar along with pain in abdomen. We found that studies has been reported the decoction of Cyperus rotundus does not mark antimicrobial activity, exert the antidiarrheal action by mechanism other than the direct killing of pathogen. Next, for dysentery, the common remedies for dysentery very commonly used the tender leaves of babul, that is Acacia nilotica, 6 gram to be made into paste with water and given with rice water. Studies showed that Acacia nilotica leaves was proved to have potent activities against Entamoeba histolytica trophozoites in vitro studies. For amoebiasis, commonly practiced yog is paste of guava leaves, that is Psyllium guajava. Guava leaves 6 gram is given with water. Study indicate that efficacy of leaf extract is dose dependent, and lower worm counts after treatment period as recorded in the study may be owing to loss of worm and process of destrobulation. That indicates, that is also support that guava leaves are having effect in amoebiasis. Next, in jaundice, for jaundice, 1.5 gram Rakhal Shasha root. Rakhal Shasha is Bengali name, and its botanical name is Citrulus colocynthis, and it is known as Indravaruni in Sanskrit and in Ayurveda also. And root of Indravaruni powder 1.5 gram is given with patola juice. Patola is Trichoxanthus cucumarina in Pandu and Kamala, that is commonly practiced. And study found that fruit possess significant hepatoprotective and antioxidant activity. For tuberculosis, one famous remedy is there. New leaves of tinduk, that is Diospyros malabarica, to be fried with ghee, and 1.5 gram powder of fried leaves with honey and powder of pipali is given in tuberculosis. Study has reported that beta-sitosterol, betulin, uh, oleanolic acid, and myricil alcohol, new lupin type triterpenes and pyreginol from the leaves against the tubercular gland has been found to be effective. And for cough, a very famous remedy is 6 gram powder of kantakari, that is Solanum nigrum, and pipali, Piper longum, with honey gives relief from any type of cough. And we found that reported study, active petroleum ether extract showed presence of antihistaminic compound beta-sitosterol, which is responsible to reduce the cough. For alcoholic syndrome, there is a famous remedy used in Bengal, Mustijuk Chikitsha. Equally mixed Yashtimadu, that is Glycerigia glabra, Morich, that is Piper nigrum, powder is to be soaked in tintiri water. Tintiri is Tamarindus indica. We have shown in the picture, and first it should be and water should be added and for 7 times and to be pulverized after drying. And 750 milligram of powder is indicated for licking in the with honey in alcoholic syndrome. There is no studies we have found on this supportive of these formulations in alcoholic syndrome. Coming to epilepsy, for epilepsy there is commonly practiced formulation is 7 pieces of haritaki, that is Terminalia chibula fruit should be boiled in 500 ml cow's urine, and 1 haritaki every day with honey is indicated in epilepsy apasmar condition. And we found that study reported anticonvulsant activity of ethanolic extract of fruits of Terminalia chibula on experimental animals. For arthritis, common remedy used 10 to 12 pieces leaves of Dusparsha, that is Tragia involucrata, fried in ghee are given daily in Ambat. And juice of shigru and little hingu are to be smashed. Shigru is Moringa oleifera, and hingu that is are to be smashed together and made into a hot paste, and this hot paste is applied on the cloth and applied over the swelled area and painful joint for immediate relief. For dysuria, we found that very common medicinal plants, that is Haritha Manjuri, Acalepha indica. The application of paste made from leaves of Harith Manjuri, Acalepha indica, over lower abdomen can also be prescribed in Mutraghat. And significant, we found that study has reported that significant decrease in membrane-bound enzymes such as calcium ATPase, magnesium ATPase, and sodium potassium ATPase, and marker enzyme aspartate transaminase AST and ALT, and also acid phosphatase, alkaline phosphatase in liver and kidney are reduced by these plants. And Acalepha indica can play an important role in prevention of disorder associated with kidney stone formation. That indicates the use of this medicinal plants in the Mutraghat and especially in dysuria. For renal stone, very common medicinal plant, that is Plectranthus ambonicus, that is commonly known as Parnayavani. 25 gram juice of this plant is given daily intake for daily intake to remove the stone. And soft root of puga, that is Erica catechu tree is smashed and applied over the lower abdomen. That is also commonly practiced as Mustijog Chikitsha in Bengal. And for diabetes, one different types of formulations they are commonly practiced, like leaves of japa, that is Hibiscus rosa sinensis, 25 gram are to be smashed with 60 gram water until it becomes slippery, and this is given for drinking added with sugar in any type of prameha or diabetes. And decoction of pug and babul, that is Acacia nilotica, are added with a little honey and is given in a madhumaya condition. This fraction of java and leaves may contain the potential oral hypoglycemic agent. That is, a study has been reported as a supportive of japa leaves, hibiscus leaves in diabetes. Next, for diabetic sore, smashed leaves of verenda. Verenda is commonly known, botanically identified as a Jatropha quercus. Without any water, should be applied over abscess and tied with cloth. A local application of paste of sigru, Moringa oleifera root over new abscess are also used for the treatment of diabetic sore. The study shows that extract ointment of Jatropha quercus demonstrates wound healing potential in both excision and incision model that supports the use of these medicinal plants for diabetic sore in tradition by the traditional practitioners. For obesity, there is a very famous remedy, dry radish powder, that is Rhamnus sativus, with triphala and honey is taken to reduce the excessive fat in the body. And fruit bark of mango smashed with shankhavasma is applied over the body. That is especially to reduce the foul smell in obesity condition. And radish study has found that radish has been reported to be effective for treating hyperlipidemia by decreasing the blood sugar level. For liver disorders, 10 to 15 drops of milky juice of Aranda curcuti, that is Carica papaya, with little sugar is given in daily morning in hepatosplenomegaly. 3 gram powder made from root of lemon tree with little cow's urine is given for the same. Study indicate that aqueous extract of Carica papaya may be useful in preventing carbon tetrachloride and ACM-induced liver toxicity. For filariasis, very famous remedy is decoction of guruchi along with 6 ml decoction of honey is given in daily. And root bark of shigru, that is Moringa oleifera, and Shwet sharshab is also smashed together and applied locally for the treatment of filariasis. For piles and fistula, paste of tender leaves of neem is to be applied with ghee to reduce the pain and swelling in the piles and fistula condition. And root of danti, that is Valiosperma montanum, and rhizome of Haridra, Curcuma longa, are smashed together and is applied in fistula. For vitiligo, apamarga, that is Acaranthus aspera seeds, and root of salmoli, that is Bombex malavarica, are smashing together with cow's urine and applied locally. And paste made from equal quantity of seed of gunja, that is Abras picatorius, and root of chitrak, Plumbago zelenica, is applied locally for treatment of vitiligo. For urticaria, 60 gram chitrak and hilmochica powder is also used for urticaria. And leaves of kiratikta are keeping in 125 ml of water overnight, and water is given in next day morning for treatment of urticaria. For leukorrhea, tonduliac juice 24 ml with honey is indicated in Prodharog, and 5 pieces of java flour to be boiled with 500 ml of milk and given for drinking. That is the picture of Amaranthus bletum that is known as tonduliac in Ayurveda. Coming to conclusion, the huge and great contribution of different school of Bengal Ayurveda is now an abundant part, and restoration and modernization of this wisdom must be done with the help of advanced technology. Knowledge can only be restored with clinical and its rational application. Hence, exploration of such different unique treatment modalities are essential so that those can be practiced widely and revived in the true sense can be possible. And this is the process that listens the pulse of our past. And this can be constitute our most precious national heritage as a rare piece of recorded knowledge in the sense of literary, linguistic, artistic, and cultural heritage. And I am very much grateful to the organizing committee. And once again, I want to express my gratitude to Dr. Rajan sir and all the organizing committee for giving me opportunity for sharing this platform. Also, I express my gratitude to Vaidya Asit Kumar Paja, who is the next speaker after me, and for his guidance and supervision and for his blessing. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir, for the highly reflective session. Thank you so much. The upcoming session is on management protocol of snakebite practiced by traditional healers of Bengal. This session will be delivered by Dr. Asit Kumar Panja. Asit Kumar, sir, a PhD holder in Samhita and Basic Principles, has also earned a diploma in yoga and naturopathy with a gold medal.